Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322, and basically as expected, based on the news and rumours and the fact that the event week was extended a few weeks ago, we now have information about the new GTA DLC coming on Tuesday, the 26th of July. That's this Tuesday, and it seems like it's kind of a smaller scale update, but quite interesting quality of life improvements. And I wanted to make a little video just to talk about how I'm going to cover it, sort of in this new era of me not just going all out on every single GTA DLC and all GTA content. I'm, working my way away from GTA whilst also playing it at the same time and trying to incorporate other games like Wreckfest and iRacing and things like that. But I am still going to be covering the GTA DLC. I still want to play it. I still want to check it out. I'm still going to be testing cars, but it's not going to be quite as crazy as what I used to do. I'm going to talk about how I'm going to approach it, but I also want to talk about a few things to do with the DLC that have come from the newswire as well. Again, I'm not going to go into major detail because I'm kind of, done with that phase of things where I just focus on every single thing that Rockstar puts out. But I do want to focus on a few things. I do want to mention a few things, and then I'll leave a link in the description to the entire newswire if you want to get a more well-rounded explanation of what the DLC is going to be like. But obviously on Tuesday we're going to go through everything and check it all out and find out what's changed when it actually arrives. So basically the new update is the criminal enterprises, and it focuses on the executives, bikers, nightclub and gun running businesses, basically seeming like it's going to give each of those some new missions for sourcing product, and maybe make it a little bit easier for those businesses to make some money. There's nothing mentioned about those businesses getting an increase in income, but perhaps there's going to be some things that make it a little bit easier, at least to sort of source crates or whatever the case may be. And it seems like the newswire basically just sort of does a copy paste idea with that. They basically, each business gets the same sort of thing, an extra couple of missions, an extra little thing here or there. There's also going to be some new sort of contact missions where you're becoming a member of the IAA as a secret agent. Again, those are probably going to be sort of smaller scale heist-like missions, but kind of probably thinking more along the lines of the yacht missions and stuff like that rather than full-blown heists. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see that kind of stuff, because one of the major things with this is that after this DLC, all business activities are going to be able to be done in invite-only sessions, or basically all sessions, private lobbies, crew sessions, friend sessions. That includes sell missions for all of these businesses. You'll just be able to do it. You don't need to go into public sessions anymore or have to do methods to get solo public sessions or something. And just to point out that this is coming to all platforms as well. This update is coming to the old gen platforms and PC and the new gen platforms, but it seems like there will be some exclusive stuff to the new gen platforms as well. So speaking of that, let's just go straight to the cars section of this, because that's what we're all interested in here on this channel. First of all, there's going to be two new Imani tech vehicles. Basically, it seems like this is like the leftovers DLC. You kind of get, if you read the newswire with that mindset in mind, you kind of get an idea that, okay, these are all the things that they've had in the past, or extra missions that they're now just throwing all into one DLC. And I'm pretty sure they've done that in a DLC before. I remember saying that. I can't remember exactly which DLC it was, but a previous DLC had that same impression as well. So yeah, there's going to be new cars here, and it's new Imani vehicles, new tuners vehicles, new vehicles that you can take to Benny's, and also new vehicles for House Special Works. So more HSW vehicles, those are only going to be available on the new generation of consoles, PS5 and Series X, because all the other platforms don't have access to HSW vehicles, House Special Works and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, a few extra, interesting that they're actually going to be revisiting Benny's and tuners. We're going to get some new tuners vehicles, and obviously two new Imani tech eligible vehicles. That means vehicles that you can upgrade with the missile lock-on jammer and all that kind of stuff as part of the agency DLC. I don't know, whatever that one was called, the one with Franklin anyway. It also says in the newswire that there's an assortment of new and deeper customization options on several OG vehicles. That I imagine that's going to be similar sort of thing to like the Banshee, for example, and things like the Futon and a few other vehicles that got sort of liveries and other modifications just randomly. Obviously, we now know that, especially for the Banshee, that was in preparation for having livery support for the HSW version of the Banshee. But that seems to be what that's referencing, that there's certain original vehicles, maybe it's going to be those vehicles that will become HSW eligible later on down the line, but we're going to get some, new options for some old vehicles, as well as new vehicles across a wide variety of different aspects, whether it's tuners, bennies, hows, Imani tech, whatever. So it seems like it's, like I said, it's kind of like throwing a load of extra stuff that they had left over from all these previous DLCs and putting them all in one DLC for this, which, keeps it interesting. And as usual, I am going to be testing all the vehicles. I'm going to take them around the track, sort them out for lap time and top speed, let you guys know as soon as possible which are the quickest. If any, if the new tuner vehicle is the quickest for tuner races, for example, just stay tuned to the channel because I will let you know, and I'll do all the testing as soon as I possibly can. That's not going to change. One last thing that's mentioned before I get into how I'm going to cover the DLC is that there's going to be increased payouts for stuff. So primarily the two original heists, so the original heists from 2015 and then the Doomsday heist as well, both of those are going to get bigger payouts. There's going to be a better payday for bodyguards, associates and motorcycle club members. There's going to be permanent boosts to race and adversary mode payouts. This is all coming from the Newswire post. Again, I'll link it in the description if you want to read it in full. So yeah, that's good. That's been a long time coming. The way that especially Cayo Perico and the casino heists kind of, they dwarf the original heists and Doomsday in comparison to in terms of the payouts. So it's good to see those getting bumped up. Races and adversary modes, basically those are things that I mentioned when I was talking about the expanded and enhanced wish list. They haven't done it for expanded and enhanced, but hey, at least they're doing it now. Obviously, we'll figure out exactly how much those increased payouts are. The community will work on doing that and work out whether it suddenly becomes more profitable to do the original heists with 4 players and it will be more profitable than Cayo Perico. Maybe that would be nice. That would be pretty interesting because I think, especially with the original heist, it's a little, they are more difficult than the Cayo Perico heist. It requires 4 people. It feels like those should be more rewarding. If you get a group of people doing it as efficiently as possible, that should be more rewarding in terms of income per hour than just doing a solo heist on your own where you can just basically run through in 15 minutes easily. So it's nice to see them getting bigger paydays, but we'll see what those increases are, and also for races as well and adversary modes, whether they will increase the price enough that they're worth just playing and you can make decent money doing it. That would be nice to see, but we'll have to just wait and see. It also mentions that reducing the effectiveness of the Oppressor Mark II, which is always nice, but considering you're going to be able to do cell missions in invite-only lobbies, doesn't really matter anymore because you can just do it on your own. You don't need to be in a public session anymore. A few other quality of life improvements that are mentioned in the Newswire as well, like an easier way to replenish health with snacks and stuff like that. So it feels like there's just going to be a lot thrown into this DLC and a lot of quality of life stuff that we'll have to keep an eye on. And speaking of keeping an eye on it, that brings us to how I'm going to cover it, because obviously over the last few months, especially with the introduction of GTA Plus and the expanded and enhanced editions, which were very lackluster in my opinion, I kind of took a bit of a back seat away from GTA, and that's not really changing. Now, I think I've found a good balance point at the moment. I'm uploading some of the Wreckfest videos, which people are really liking, and I'm enjoying playing it as well. I'm doing more iRacing, which is really good, and I am still doing GTA 5M random videos, GFreds, GTA streams and things like that. But I'm just trying to sort of work in other games and not be so reliant on just GTA, especially with the fact that I don't really agree. I haven't agreed with the way that they've treated the game for a long time, and I guess the expanded and enhanced and GTA Plus were just my breaking point. I've talked about that in previous videos, but how is that going to impact how I cover this DLC? Well, basically I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing for years now and do my regular Twitch stream. I usually start at about 9 a.m. UK time on Tuesday morning, wait for the DLC to drop, get it downloaded, and start exploring everything that we've got. I'll look at all the new cars, check out all the new quality of life updates that will be there in this one, look at some of the new missions and all that kind of stuff, check out the new payouts, all that. I'll just basically cover everything. We'll explore it together. It's not sort of, it takes time because I have to explore it just like you guys will be watching me as we go through it. But yeah, those are the best way to get the information as early as possible if you're available to watch that stream. Again, 9 a.m. UK time on Tuesday the 26th, I will be live. But I'm not going to do the YouTube stream afterwards. Previously, I've gotten into the habit of uploading a video to YouTube as well on the morning and then letting people know about the stream and then streaming to YouTube itself afterwards with more of a sort of a showcase of everything that we learned in the Twitch stream. I'm not going to be doing that this time. I might upload a video a few days down the line, kind of like I used to back in the old days where I used to do sort of a discussion and analysis of the DLCs. I might go back to doing that, but I want to get to, doing the Twitch stream on the morning, checking everything out, and then basically getting straight into the car testing. I think over the years, as I've started to, I think I've been driven away a little bit, or I've driven myself away from what is the key of what I do with covering these DLCs. I've tried to do it all. I had the weekly update videos, obviously, that I'm not doing anymore, for example, and trying to cover all this stuff about the DLC on DLC day, when really I should just be focusing on testing the cars. That's what I really want to do. That's the most interesting part to every DLC for me anyway. And that I want to get to doing that as quickly as possible. So I am going to still do the Twitch stream. I'm just going to kind of get rid of some of the fluff surrounding it so that I can get to the car testing quicker. And yeah, focus on sort of the most important things that are important to me. And then we can always have a discussion video a few days later after I've done all the testing, for example, and just talk about all the things from the DLC. So yeah, Twitch stream was where you'll get all the information. First of all, I'm sure if you keep an eye out on, Twitter or Rockstar Newswire themselves, if you miss the Twitch stream from other people in the community or other people even on YouTube videos, you'll be able to get a grasp of everything that's happening with the DLC. And during all that time, I'll be testing the cars, so you can make sure you're stuck here, you're subscribed, you can become a YouTube member if you want, and you get all the testing information as early as possible without having to wait for the video. Click the join button below the video for that and all the information with regards to that. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. My focus is going to be on the Twitch stream in the morning and then just getting these cars tested, because that's what I'm most interested in. That's what you guys are most interested in seeing, I'm sure. So that's what I'll be focusing on. It'll still be a busy week, but I'm going to try and not spread myself too thinly, which is what I always do on DLC weeks, at least over the last few years. And yeah, with me sort of trying to diversify a little bit and not basically focus too much on GTA, I think this is a healthier way to do it and sort of zone back in on what I do best. So yeah, hopefully that's okay for you guys. Like I said, I'll leave a link to the newswire down below if you want to check it out in more detail. But obviously on Tuesday and over the next week, we'll figure out everything that's changed and see how good or bad or indifferent the DLC ends up being. And again, this is on all the platforms, this DLC, but of course all the HSW upgrades and how special works stuff that's part of this DLC, that's going to be the stuff that's only on the new gen consoles. And they do specify new gen consoles, so it doesn't seem like PC's getting all the HSW upgrades anytime soon. The expanded and enhanced treatment isn't seemingly coming to PC, at least according to this, so we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, as far as this DLC goes, most of it is going to be on all the platforms. So let me know all your thoughts down below about this upcoming DLC. Let me know your thoughts about the way that I'm treating it, at least, and my new outlook going forward. And yeah, keep an eye out on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you've got notifications on and all that kind of stuff, because as soon as I know the lap times and I've been able to make a video about it, you guys will know them as well. And that will continue for all the drip feed and all that kind of stuff as well. Thank you guys so much for watching and all the support, and I'll see you next time.